places.
Shop Mission Chevrolet, where it's all about you.
Welcome back, and if you're just getting in the door, we have a recap of some of the local stories you may have missed. From the station putting local first, heavy rainfall hitting late Tuesday night near Kern Place around UTEP. This is footage sent in by viewers showing people leaving their vehicles, wading through the high water to get out. While El Paso fire personnel were seen going in to roads to conduct apparent water rescues. El Paso Water says while this year has had a very active monsoon season, preparations to avoid flooding, those are constant. Multiple projects are ongoing in the West El Paso area to help alleviate flooding when these intense rainfall showers occur. Some already in the design process and near completion with a time frame of around 5 years to complete. A debate is brewing over possible changes to a historic neighborhood in parts of central El Paso. City Council is scheduled to vote next week on El Paso's zoning code called Title 20. From backyard homes to parking rules, the plan could change how new housing looks and where it can go. Some residents worry about parking and the scale of new development. Others worry the changes could open the door to out-of-town investors. City Council is expected to take up the ordinance on August 19th. And with the start of a new school year also comes the start of the athletic calendar. According to the CDC, contact sports like football, basketball, and soccer account for 45% of all emergency department visits for traumatic brain injuries and concussions among children ages 17 and under. These injuries often occur during practices or games and can sometimes go unrecognized, leading to serious side effects. And joining us now is Dr. Jesus Gamez. Dr. Gamez is the trauma medical director over at Del Sol Medical Center. Dr. Gamez, thank you so much for joining us here today. The CDC has been very proactive in, as well as with their partners in their Heads Up campaign. My first question to you is how much more do we know about concussions, brain injuries than we did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and even 30 years ago?
Well, the CDC's campaign has brought a lot of awareness and education to all these sports facilities, teachers, educators, coaches on traumatic brain injuries. So with that and the focus on CTE and also in professional sports, seeing these players have injuries, it's brought a lot of innovations into the sports world to try to reduce these injuries.
And something else that I found really interesting, and I was hoping you can kind of expand more upon this, is the CDC says girls may experience sports-related concussions differently than boys and are even more susceptible to concussions of the on the field or whether it be the court of play. Why is that?
So females tend to have a thinner neck and also thinner skulls. So when they do receive a hit to the head or an injury, they're able to have a more severe traumatic brain injury from that or develop a concussion. Although boys with their activities usually do have more concussions than females overall.
I know a lot of this research has been implemented in different ways from the professional ranks to college and high school. Even youth sports have changed the way we treat head injuries. What are some of the signs and symptoms that our coaches, parents, everyone should be looking out for when it comes to these young athletes?
So you're going to want to keep an eye out for headaches, slurred speech, double vision, forgetfulness, forgetting things that they did earlier in the day. Those can be some signs of a concussion that may be brewing or that they have sustained from an injury in sports.
And then when we think of concussions in sports, I know we think of many people, everyone points to football, right? And we talk a lot about how far research has come, even in the last 10 to 15 years, just on helmet safety alone. The technology advancement I think that we've seen has made major strides. I know there's no concussion-proof helmet, but from your experience, has that technology and even the education on maybe how helmets should fit our student athletes, has that made a big difference in treating and preventing some of these head-related injuries?
I feel like those innovations have helped decrease the amount of brain injuries that we are seeing. Also, I think a big factor has to be the education that the coaches are giving the students, trying to avoid head-to-head injuries or head-to-head collisions, proper tackling techniques, and those things like that have kind of brought down those injuries.
Yeah, and with all that in mind, Dr. Gamez, how are concussions or some of these TBIs that you relate to, how are they being treated? For years, we've heard athletes who suffer a concussion, they need rest, but you also shouldn't fall asleep. I often hear that after suffering a concussion. We've also heard that no screens. That's a big no-no after suffering a concussion. Are those still true, and what are some other ways to treat a concussion?
Yeah, so you're still going to want to rest, avoid a lot of stimulants, don't be watching TV, bright lights, things like that. You want to be in a quiet room. It's going to be mainly conservative management. If you do have a more severe injury, then you'd probably have to go to the hospital and get treated that way. But for the most part, it's still going to be conservative management, no screaming, no yelling, avoid bright lights, and it's okay to sleep if you have a concussion as long as you can wake up from it. But if a person's not waking up from a concussion, then that's a pretty severe sign that maybe you're going to have to go to the hospital.
What are maybe some of the biggest misnomers when it comes to head-related injuries? What are something that you want people to know out there that are watching this program right now and they have their kids in sports? What are some misnomers, and what do you want people to know when it comes to an athletic calendar that started, of course, this month, and we're going to be at it all the way through the month of April and May?
A concussion is a traumatic brain injury, and you should treat it as such. If you get pulled out of the season or for a few weeks, it's best to follow those concussion protocols so that you don't worsen the head injury, so that you can make a full recovery and try to avoid, consequences down the line. So don't take it lightly, take it seriously, and be prepared.
All right, Dr. Gamez, thank you for taking the time to speak about a very important topic as these athletic seasons begin. We certainly appreciate your insights.
Thank you.
All right, and coming up, flood recovery efforts are at a halt over at the Capitol. Coming up, Republicans and Democrats pointing fingers at each other, saying they are to blame for a delay.